Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Dalia and today we are back on Cider working on another build. I said I'm going to try to finish this island in the next week or so, and I'm determined. I'm determined. I have like 2 builds left to do after this, maybe even 1 for a video, to be honest. But yeah, I hope that you guys are excited for today's video. We are working on a big build, another big build, because of course, I have a lot to do, so this is a big chunk of my island. But yeah, anyways, yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Become a member if you would like to support the channel further. And I'd like to take a moment to thank all my current channel members for all of your support. Thank you so much for supporting my content. And yeah, anyways, we're gonna get started. We're starting on my secret beach. We are starting on my secret beach, and of course my favorite thing about Animal Crossing is that no matter what you do, inclines never match up to the area you want it. I want it in the middle so that it like lined up with the actual beach. I tried. This isn't even the first time in the video that I struggle with placement and having my thing I'm placing down being 1 tile off from what I need it to be.
Am I crying or laughing? Laughing. Good.
But we're just gonna deal with it. It's still cute. I still make it look, you know, decent. But yeah, anyway, we're just gonna continue on from my previous build. If you guys missed my last video, we did a really cute little neighborhood for Marshall and Poppy, and I'm right beside Poppy's little bakery, so I'm just connecting the spaces, and we're basically decorating like the back left corner of my map, so my secret beach is here, and then we're kind of decorating the top left. So, the first thing we're working on, like I said, is my secret beach. This is going to be a graveyard. It's not weird that I'm doing it on the secret beach. My idea was, okay, so one of the villagers' homes that I'm working on is Lucky. If you guys know, Lucky's been on my island for a while, and I wanted to give him a kind of spooky, kind of Halloween-ish build. It didn't quite work out that way. His house is beside this area, but I initially was going to incorporate his house into the actual build. It just didn't work out that way. So I'm doing a really pretty graveyard, so it's like a cemetery. It's gonna have like a pretty little like statue in the middle. It's cute. I'm actually extremely happy with the way that it turned out. I wanted it kind of separated from the rest of the island, because I felt like at this point placing this randomly surrounded by the builds that I currently have was a little bit weird.
That's weird.
Not weird. Kind of weird.
That's suspicious.
It's fine. But I made it work. We do a really cute little like entranceway for it. And I'm really happy with the placement of it. Honestly, I wanted to incorporate my secret beach somehow. I don't even decorate on my secret beach. I just felt like it was very pretty to kind of have my secret beach be incorporated into a kind of graveyard type build. And I'm very happy with the way that it turned out. Would you believe I've never done a graveyard build? I've never done a cemetery, I've never done a graveyard. I've done spooky-ish islands, and I've never done a graveyard. I don't understand how. It's very easy to do a graveyard, especially when you have like the Western-styled stone, which looks so pretty. Genuinely don't understand how I've never done a build like this before, but I mean, better late than never. I'm not mad about it. So I'm just kind of making everything parallel to one another, symmetry, you know, and all that. So I'm just making everything very symmetrical in the back of this build. Like I said, my incline does not match up to the placement of the beach, so I'm just kind of making it work the best that I can. And like I mentioned, I decided to use a statue in the middle. I thought that this was like a very pretty statue to use in the middle of a graveyard You know, I thought it was really something. It was giving me Buffy vibes, which I'm extremely here for because I'm a huge Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan. If you didn't know that, Team Spike forever.
Out for a walk, bitch.
But I put the Valiant statue, and then I'm kind of walking around and placing my, what is it called? That leaf pathing I've been using. And then I wanted to incorporate the ruined items in this build. Don't ask me why. I felt like the ruined items match this vibe that was going on. It's kind of gothic. It's kind of gothic, which in a very fun way. It still matches my island very well, but it's definitely very gothic. And then I planted some Lily of the Valleys, just because to me they seem like flowers that would grow in a cemetery. They're very like pretty. Maybe someone placed them here for a family member or something. I thought they were very pretty, so I planted like 2 next to the Western style stones. And this area is quite overgrown, so I'm just placing some wheat fields, and I'll plant some weeds and stuff too, and some extra flowers and trees as well. One thing I desperately need to do is run around my island and fix my weed situation, because a lot of my weeds are overgrown in ways I don't want them to be. So before my DA is released, hopefully in the next week, I will be fixing my weeds. So wish me luck on that. And the last thing I'm doing is placing some ruined items with some jail bars here. I saw someone else do this, and to me it kind of looks like a crypt mausoleum kind of vibe. Don't ask me, I don't know. And then the castle items in the little corner, just to finish it off. So now moving on to Lucky's house. This was when I still hadn't decided what I was doing for this build, and as you can probably tell by the title, we're doing a cul-de-sac build for Lucky and 2 other dog villagers who you actually haven't met on this island yet. They're the last 2 villagers I got for this island. So all of this terraforming path placement you're watching right now was cute. I loved it, but it doesn't stay. It doesn't stay. But I wanted to show you guys. So I did this, and then I put Lucky's house there. But then I have to move it because I get rid of all of this path placement. Like, I change it a bit. It's not like it's all gone. The general layout kind of stays, but I change all of this up because I realized I didn't know how I was going to incorporate the last 2 villagers' homes. So I fixed it. So you can see Lucky's house in the top left corner of the build right now. It was cute. It doesn't stay. It doesn't stay. It doesn't stay. But because I wasn't quite sure what I was doing yet with that, I kind of just moved on to another section of my build. If you guys know me, you know I have a tendency to flip-flop around different areas once I lose inspiration or when I'm kind of stuck and kind of struggling, and because a lot of the builds surrounding this area minus the graveyard are very structural and very city, I wanted to incorporate a small little more natural sitting area in the center of this build. So it's kind of like a park, not like a very big park, but a cute little park with some leaf piles and a little bench. Just, you know, those little sections in the middle of a city where you find nature. I do need to incorporate a couple more nature builds on this island. I'm probably gonna do another like wheat field like I did at the entrance of my island, just because I said I wanted to do a couple of those and I haven't done a single one since then. So I'm definitely probably gonna do that somewhere because I have 3 sections left, all in the back part of my map. And there's nothing to do except just kind of fill them however I can because I have no more buildings. I've done all my villagers' homes at this point. I've done all of my actual buildings. I can make like another resident rep's house, but I really don't want to. So it's just gonna be fun trying to figure out how to fill in those spaces because I'm kind of running out of ideas. I'm not gonna lie.
Open sesame! Well, I've done all I can do.
I'm also very itching to restart, so at this point, I'm not, like, losing inspo for this island, but I've done every build I've set out to do at this point, so everything else that I'm kind of doing is just, like, ideas that I'm coming up with right now, including this build, I'm going to be honest. So I'm just filling in this park. Like I said, it turned out really cute. I'm actually really happy with it. I love the use of the fences with the decorative pillars. It's a nice way of like cutting off spaces and making small individualized sections, which I really like. And it just suits my theme really nicely. Like these two items together, they're good. They're good. I'm very, very happy with it. So at this point I had moved Lucky's house and I'm now figuring out how I'm going to place this pathing. I do a cul-de-sac, like you guys can tell by the thumbnail and by the title of the video. And it's not my first cul-de-sac. This isn't my first rodeo with a cul-de-sac.
This ain't my first time at the rodeo.
However, I did come across a problem. I don't show you guys how I place the cul-de-sac custom design just because I've done this before. This is a little bit different than my traditional cul-de-sac. It's a little bit different. But here is the first villager who we invited to the island. It's Bia. She's very autumnal in my opinion, and honestly I wanted villagers I've never really had before. Bia was a villager on one of my islands, but I never kept her. And now I say this even though I ended up grabbing a villager I have had before, but I also grabbed Shep for this island. It was between him and Bones, but I decided I'm gonna have Bones on my next island, so I decided to do Shep, Lucky, and Bia. So obviously you can tell this is a doggy neighborhood, and here's where I uncovered that Bia's house is not going to fit in the middle like I want it to. I'm struggling a little bit to place her house, and I just had to kind of accept that it was going to be on the side, to the left, to the right. It's just, you know, Nintendo. Yeah.
So I am confusion. America, explain.
I'm not, whatever, you know, it happens. So I put her house there. I put Lucky's house the closest to the graveyard, obviously. I feel like he's the keeper of the graveyard, even though obviously his house isn't directly beside it, but it still works. And then I put Shep's house here. Shep and Lucky's houses thankfully line up perfectly, but you know, it's a little bit of a struggle with Bia's house. It's just, you know, we have to accept it. It just is what it is. And because this is a cul-de-sac, I felt like all three of the villagers kind of share the backyard resident areas. So I'm placing the vertical fencing behind their houses, obviously just to kind of block off the cliffs. And then I'm going to do a sitting area for them, and then also a basketball court as well, like kind of like a cute little basketball net area too. So I decided to use the natural garden chairs, and I struggle so hard with coming up with build ideas when it comes to like placement of furniture items on top of tables, because I always want every build to look different. This is honestly really boring in my opinion. I literally put pretzels into coffee mugs. I think at this point I'm just like stretched for creativity. This could have looked much better. I also hate placing items on circular tables in this game. It stresses me out like no other. I can't. But it's cute. Like, I don't hate it. It's just like kind of boring. But then on the other side, I put a basketball hoop and a basketball. I think I'll probably do a small basketball court somewhere. It's one of my last few builds, but I wanted to do a cute little like basketball hoop for Lucky and Bia and Shep, you know? So I'm back to doing some parallel things, just kind of matching their houses on either side with the hedges and the spooky fencing, and really just kind of filling in the space to make it look cute. I couldn't quite decide what I wanted to put in the middle of the cul-de-sac. I decided to go with the evergreen ash. Also, can we talk about how cute Lucky is? Got a little zoomies around the area. He's so freaking cute. So I decided to go with the evergreen ash. I was debating between that and like a tree, or like the spooky items, but I decided to go with the evergreen ash. I think it looked cute. It's not a big centerpiece for the cul-de-sac, and I also didn't want Bia's home to be completely blocked for pictures and stuff, so it's cute. I don't hate it. It looks good. This cul-de-sac is just like a weird size, so like I try to make it look full. I feel like there's still some areas that kind of look sparse in my opinion, but if you guys remember my little spiel from my last video, trying to be better with placement of items and accepting that sometimes you can't fill in every single space. It's okay if I leave a space blank. I like having walkable builds. So I don't know why I struggle so hard, especially with city islands, trying not to put items everywhere, but it's hard. It's hard. I love cluttercore, you know, it's where I feel most comfortable. I love making builds be obnoxiously full. I feel like if you don't have lag on your island, you're not trying hard enough. It just sounds so stupid, but that's just how I feel. So I'm just kind of filling in the area around Shep's house. He's the one that has the biggest amount of space beside his home. So I did some barrels, I did some flower planters, and some plant partitions beside both of their houses in the middle. Like I said, I'm trying to be good, but at the same time, if I see space, I'm gonna probably fill it. Let's be real. And at this point, I was trying to decide just how much more of this area I was like deciding to build. As you can see, I have this entire right side next to the secret beach to decorate, and then I have the area below the cul-de-sac to build too. So I was at the point where I'm trying to decide exactly what I should do.
I'm coming! Okay! Hey! What do I do?
So I end up doing a double road kind of moment with my pathing, so kind of like a double highway. And I really only decorate the center of it. I leave the left side basically blank, so that I'm just probably going to fill in with trees and keep it very simple. But this area directly below here is where my Nooks, Cranny, and Able sisters are, so I kind of have to figure out how to connect the spaces. So this is going to be very fun for me. This might be a build I do for a video in the next week, or maybe we'll do it on stream together. We will see. I've been decorating on my other island on stream in the last week, and by stream I did one stream for decorating. It's been a while since I've done the decorating stream, so it's been fun to kind of get back to decorating with you guys, but I was on my other island. But maybe we'll do a fun little decorating stream just to kind of wrap up this island in the next week or so. We shall see. So I'm just kind of finishing off the build, to be honest. I did a little connection with the park area with like a little bike rack situation, and then I'm placing some evergreen ashes. I wanted this highway section to be very cohesive, so I'm doing some trees in the middle in between. Evergreen ashes and trees together are some of my favorite ways of incorporating like nature, but also like fake plants. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I like how they look together, especially with the autumnal colors of the trees. I've said before a million times, this is my favorite time of year to decorate in game, and this has been such a fun island to decorate. It's just very, you know, it's been fun, but I'm ready to move on. But I love it. It's beautiful. It is an amazing island. So the last thing I'm doing is doing some more leaf piles. You can't take leaf piles away from me. I'll place 100 of them if I have to. If I'm unable to put items on the ground that fill in a space, you best believe I'm at least doing a couple more wheat fields. And then the last few little bits, I'm gonna have to connect this area to Poppy's bakery, like I said, just because it's an incomplete build. So I just kind of finish it off and do like another fake building. And then the leaf piles, all the leaf piles, the amount of leaf piles I think I have on this island, I wish I counted them. It would be fun to do like a, can you guys like tell me how many leaf piles I have on this island, and whoever gets the answer right wins a prize kind of thing. Just because I know the number is ridiculous. I think it's kind of like when I did my trash car island. If you guys could tell me how many like trash bags or like cockroaches I have on that island, because it was like, it was ridiculous. But there's some items that are like you just gotta repeatedly build with, you know? And I feel like I don't know. What was I even talking about? I feel like leaf piles are just that.
No, I don't think you understand. I'm obsessed.
Because even with my trash island, which I know I keep mentioning my trash island, but I love my trash island. Even on my trash island, I use the regular leaf pile in the brown color because it still look like wet leaves on the ground, you know, in the middle of winter. And I loved it. But especially with this island, like, you can't go wrong. And I love the leaf piles this time of year because you have so many color options. You can do the brown, you can do the red. I wish there was an orange. I love the yellow leaf pile, but I feel like an orange one would look really cool as well. But anyway, yeah. So I'm just finishing off Poppy's Little Bakery, like I said, and then just putting a couple more spooky items. I've officially accepted this is a Halloween island, even though Halloween was over almost 3 weeks ago at this point. I can't believe we're already into the middle of November, but this is a Halloween island. It's not a Halloween like it is set at Halloween, but it's an island that enjoys Halloween, you know? That is what it is, and I've just had to accept that. And the last thing I'm doing is putting a couple cars on the road. I haven't actually put a lot of cars on my streets just because the streets are only 3 tiles wide, so I had to be very deliberate about the placement of them. And my very last thing is I'm putting some tiny libraries in front of their houses because these are their mailboxes. I've decided that all my villagers deserve mailboxes on this island, and using the tiny libraries as mailboxes is just so cute, and I'm obsessed. So I quickly time travel to early morning on a foggy, crisp autumn day, and yeah, we're gonna do the final walk through the island. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you did enjoy. Become a member of the channel if you would like to support my content further. And yeah, we only have 3 more builds left to do. I'm determined to finish this island in the next couple of days. So I will see you all in my next video. I hope you guys enjoy the final walkthrough. Have an absolutely wonderful day, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.